All right, so today we're going behind the rhythm with a really exciting new voice. I think you're going to dig this one.
Yeah.
Erina McLaren, a singer-songwriter out of Tacoma, Washington. And she's kind of got this sound that really pulls you in, you know?
Yeah, it's a really unique blend, I'd say.
Hmm.
You've got that storytelling element of Americana, some of the intensity and emotionality of soul, a little bit of that country twang and the intimacy of folk.
Yeah, it's not just like I feel like some artists are kind of like, oh, it's this genre plus this genre equals that.
Yeah.
It feels very much her own thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a reinterpretation, I think, of those genres rather than just a straight up combination.
Definitely. So the research team has been digging into her work, and what really jumps out is that personal storytelling element, you know? A lot of her music seems to be driven by themes of self-discovery, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Navigating love loss, personal growth, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and her vocal delivery really plays into that as well. There's a strength there, but also a real vulnerability that allows her to inhabit those stories in a way that's super compelling.
Totally. And that vocal quality is super key because it allows her to convey that weight of experience, but also that persistent sense of hope. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And then you layer on top of that the production style, which is really lush and atmospheric, a lot of reverb, layered instrumentation, really creates this sonic space for her voice and those stories to unfold.
It's immersive for sure. You can really hear those genre influences too that the research team was talking about, you know, that folk sensibility in the lyrics, a touch of indie in the production choices, that soulfulness in the vocal runs, and then the honest storytelling that you get from like country music.
Right. It all comes together to create something that feels familiar but also brand new.
Exactly. Now, a pretty big step for her recently has been signing with Young Outlaw Music, which is affiliated with Virgin Music and Universal Music Group.
And that partnership is so interesting because it's putting an artist with this very nuanced sound, right, within this major label system. And I think that says a lot about the fact that there's this growing audience for artists who are breaking down those genre barriers and really prioritizing that genuine emotional connection over just chasing whatever the trend is.
For sure. Now let's talk about her latest single, Oh My Love. The story behind this one is pretty powerful.
Definitely. I mean, it came out of this period of intense grief for her and her family back in 2023.
And what's especially interesting is the catalyst for the song. It was written directly in response to the loss of several loved ones, including a couple who actually passed away just months apart from each other.
So that's the really raw emotional foundation of this song.
Right. And that central theme of the song, you know, the idea that those we've lost can still be present for us, you know, particularly in our dreams, and how that can offer a sense of comfort.
Yeah, and the melody's really haunting too. The research team highlighted the soulful production as well, which really emphasizes that mix of sorrow and hope.
Definitely. And if you look at All My Love within the context of her whole body of work, I think it really showcases her ability to take that personal pain and make it resonate with everyone. You know, it's that vulnerability and honesty in exploring those tough emotional spaces that makes her music connect so deeply with the listener.
It really does. And in a way, it offers a space for shared grief and maybe even a glimmer of healing through art.
Absolutely. It's that authenticity that sets her apart. So if you want to hear more from Erina McLaren, you can find her on social media and check out her label's website, erinamclarenmusic.com/home.
I think what's so fascinating about Oh My Love is that it really does capture the essence of her as an artist, that fluidity between genres, that honest storytelling, and her ability to take these deeply personal experiences and turn them into something that provides comfort and understanding.
Right. So to recap, Erina McLaren is creating this unique sound by pulling from these different genres, you know, sharing these deeply personal and relatable stories. And like we see with Oh My Love, she's finding ways to channel even the most profound loss into music that has this hopeful quality to it.
And that raises a question, I think, for all of us listening. You know, how do artists in all sorts of creative fields take these really personal and often painful experiences and transform them into something that connects with others and can even provide solace? Maybe think about some other musicians who have worked through grief in their music and what their work reveals, how we all experience loss and healing as human beings.
Definitely something to think about.
Yeah, food for thought.
For sure.
All right. Take care.
See ya.